Having lost both of her parents at a young age, Snow White is a princess living with her wicked and cold-hearted stepmother, the Queen. Hearing that Snow White's beauty will outshine her own, the Queen forces her to work as a scullery maid and asks for Magic Mirror daily, who is the fairest one of all. For years, the mirror always answers that the Queen is pleasing her. One day, Snow White meets and falls in love with a prince who overhears her singing. On that same day, the magic mirror informs the Queen that Snow White is now the fairest in all of the land. Angered, the Queen orders her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest, kill her, and bring back her heart in a jeweled box as proof. The huntsman cannot bring himself to kill Snow White and reveals to her the Queen's plot. He then urges her to flee into the woods and never return. Lost and frightened, Snow White is befriended by woodland animals who lead her to a cottage deep in the woods. Finding 7 small chairs in the cottage's dining room, Snow White assumes the cottage is the untidy home of 7 orphaned children. With the animals' help, she proceeds to clean the place and cook a meal. Snow White soon learns that the cottage is the home of 7 dwarves named Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey, who work in a nearby mine. Returning home, they are alarmed to find their cottage clean and suspect that an intruder has invaded their home. Snow White introduces herself, and the dwarfs welcome her after she offers to clean and cook for them. Snow White keeps house for the dwarfs while they mine for jewels during the day. And at night, they all sing, play music, and dance. Back at the castle, the magic mirror reveals that Snow White is still living and with the dwarfs. Enraged that the huntsman tricked her, the Queen creates a poisoned apple that will put whoever eats it into a death-like sleep. She learns the curse can be broken by love's first kiss, but is certain Snow White will be buried alive before this can happen. Using a potion to disguise herself as an old hag, the Queen goes to the cottage while the dwarves are away. The animals see through the disguise but are unable to warn Snow White. They rush off to find the dwarves. The Queen fools Snow White into biting into the apple, and she falls into a death-like slumber. The dwarves return with the animals as the Queen leaves the cottage and give chase, trapping her on a cliff. She tries to roll a boulder onto them, but lightning strikes the cliff before she can do so, causing her to fall and get crushed to death by the boulder. In their cottage, the dwarfs find Snow White asleep by the poison. Unwilling to bury her in the ground, they instead place her in a glass coffin in the forest. Together with the animals, they keep watch over her. The following spring, the prince learns of Snow White's eternal sleep and visits the coffin. Saddened by her apparent death, he kisses her, which breaks the spell and awakens her. The dwarves and animals all rejoice as the prince takes Snow White to his castle. Thank you for watching.